everybody, Mr. Traveler here, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Guys, I have a few airline videos that I'd like to share with you today. And since they're all about the airlines, I figured I'd put them all together. Comment below, let us know what you think about each one of these. They're all each different, very different situations that I think you'll find maybe a bit entertaining. We'll see. Anyway, guys, if you would be so kind, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live or upload videos like this. We do tours and everything else. So anyway, let's dive into it. The first one is, we'll get this one out the way since it's violence. the first one is this flight was leaving from Scotland going to Turkey on board EasyJet. So the story goes, the gentleman that you're seeing here evidently downed a bunch of vodka during the course of the flight. Now, it's unclear whether it was vodka purchased from the airlines or if he snuck the vodka on board the plane. I think probably the latter, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, so during the course of the flight and him drinking his vodka, he kept kicking the seat of the person in front of him, the gentleman in front of him. And I guess the guy in front of him finally had enough and said something to him about it. And then the guy proceeded to get out of his seat and began to punch him. Several times he punched him on the plane, caused a big uproar. Everybody jumped up. Everybody grabbed their cell phone and started videotaping. And you know, the people that were on the plane and the crew members were trying to calm the situation down, but the police had to be called onto the plane. And for the police to be called onto the plane and pretty much there pretty rapidly, it must have been kind of ugly in the air beforehand, and I think that the pilots probably called in to the terminal and probably told them to have the police on standby. I would imagine what happened, they probably said we have a drunk, unruly passenger, and they were probably waiting on him. Anyway, when the police came up to try to talk to the gentleman, he proceeded to punch the police as well. And you know, that's not usually a good career move for anybody when you go to punching the police, and especially on the airline. That will get you on the no-fly list anywhere, and that will get you a comfy night on the whatever country it is. And you know, if they're landing in Turkey, I mean, they definitely have stricter laws than I think that we do here in the United States. So that may have ended up very ugly for my friend there who likes to indulge in the vodka. So comment below us, let us know what you think. I mean, just hearing the story, I mean, being the person that's in front of them getting their seat kicked, I would, yeah. But typically it ends up being like a kid or something behind you, right? This kicking, and you have to turn, you know, try to deal with it for a while. But if it persists, turn around and ask the parent, hey, could you please, you know, do something. But to have a intoxicated, belligerent person behind you kicking your seat the whole flight, I'm sure that probably was not a great situation to be in for anybody involved. So comment below, let us know what you think about that one. All right, next up on the list. This falls under the category of I understand, but this is not going to end well for you. So apparently they had a Frontier airline flight that landed in Atlanta, and there was an issue with the baggage handling. Unclear what the issue was with the baggage carrier. I don't know if something was wrong with the machine itself, or if there was a shortage of handlers, or what the case may be. Whatever it was, they told the passengers that it was going to be a 1 to 2 hour delay for the baggage. Kind of leans towards there was some kind of mechanical issue, but why wouldn't you switch it off to a different carrier belt instead of telling them it's going to take an hour or two? So that's why I'm saying I'm not sure what the main cause was. At any rate, I can imagine after a flight getting there and you're either home or you're getting, you know, to Atlanta to do whatever you need to do for business or pleasure, you probably just want to grab your stuff and get on about your day or go get your hotel, whatever the case may be. The passengers, particularly one passenger, the young man, decided to take it upon himself to help everybody get their bags. He climbed up on the luggage carousel and went down the luggage ramp And the bags, I guess some of the bags were down there on the system, and he began to drag them out and pass them out to passengers. Hence my statement, I understand, but this is not going to end well for you. As somebody who has worked at an international airport in the past and understands all the security regulations that are required and all the background checks and everything that you have to go through, if you've ever seen a flight attendant accidentally set the alarm off on a security door at the airport, you will see security and the police are going to show up to that door very quickly. Anytime there's an intrusion like that, there's a police, because it could be an incident. It is considered an incident, but I mean, something seriously could be going on there. This guy has trespassed once he climbed up on that bag carousel and went down into the security area in the airport. He has trespassed, and he is going to, I don't even have to look up the rest of the story to tell you that this young man is going to be facing some serious felonies with regard to this. That is trespassing, and you're going into restricted area, so deemed by the FAA, that's very, very, very serious. And again, I understand the frustration and the aggravation, but this is definitely not the way to handle it. Sometimes we have to just stop, push pause, and think before we act. And again, it's a young man. And again, I know when I was young, I did kind of some crazy, foolish things too. But, in this day of video surveillance and the strict security that we have at airports, unfortunately, I think the story is not going to end well for this young man. Hopefully they'll, have some leniency on him, especially if he doesn't have any kind of record or anything like that. But he's definitely going to have some legal troubles for a while in getting this thing cleared up. So, yeah. Comment below. Moving on. All right, and my favorite story of the day, and bravo to, is Volaris Airlines that are based out of Mexico. I love this story, and I hope that every airline is paying attention and follows suit. Okay, so what does Volaris Airlines do that is so great? When the flight lands at its destination airport, the stewards and stewardesses assist their debarking by holding up their arms and blocking the aisles behind you. So they may come past aisles 1, 2, 3, and 4 and stop. That way, person in seat 32F can't run to the front of the plane trying to get off the plane before everybody else. Or, everybody just having this mass exodus of people. So if you've ever been on one of these flights where you've got all these people that just stand up and run to the front of the plane, and you're in aisle 5 or 6, and there's people from aisle 99D back there that's blocking you from being able to stand up and get your things out of there, out of the overhead bin, very frustrating. So Volaris Airlines has started implementing this, where they will stop and block so that the people from the first 4 rows can get up, grab their things from the overhead bins, just get themselves together and begin to exit the airplane. Then they'll move back 4 or 5 rows and do the same thing. And they do that to make a steady debarkation off the plane. I think this is a beautiful, fabulous idea. They may still have some bumps in the road because there's still going to be people that run and jump up behind the steward, possibly. Hopefully not. They'll see that maybe this doesn't work, or maybe they have other stewardesses in place to tell the people to just sit back and wait. This really frustrated me on one flight that we were on not too long ago, where we were pretty severely delayed on our flight, and there were some people that were, it was a red-eye flight, and these people had a flight connection that they needed to take. And like they really needed to get off the plane and get on there. And they came across the PA and said, ladies and gentlemen, there are 12 passengers or whatever the number was that need to catch their connecting flights very quickly, like within the next 10 minutes. would you please allow these people to get up and exit the plane so that they can catch their connecting flight? And do you know that these people on this plane did not cooperate? It was to the point, and I'm glad nobody filmed me, I was yelling at people because it was just absolutely ridiculous that they were standing up. I got into a verbal altercation with a couple people because it's absolutely ridiculous that they, you know, and what it was is I was advocating for one of the people that had a flight to catch was sitting next to us. And I was trying to help them get to the front of the line. I'm like, would you please move? They've got to catch their flight. These people want to go home. We were at home. We were landing in Orlando. So we were good. You know, it was late. We wanted to go home. Yeah, but these people are trying to catch their next flight. And if they didn't catch that flight, they were going to be stranded overnight in Orlando. And just the level of rudeness from the passengers on that plane was just overwhelming to me. And I really like this concept that Volaris Airlines is coming up with. And I hope that some of the other airlines follow suit with this. But, you know, I think that we can all do our part in this here. You know, listen, you're going to get off the plane. If you think that you need to get off the plane before everybody else for some reason, listen, pay the extra money and get a seat up at the front of the plane. When we have tight things like that, I pay for seat 4 or 5 or whatever it is, where, you know, we fly to Spirit to Mission a lot. And if I know it's late and I'm going to want to get off the plane and go straight where we're going, I'll get a seat closer to the front of the plane so I know that we can get off and go. If you're at the back of the plane, it's going to take 10, 15 minutes for you to get off the plane. And 9 times out of 10, even if you get off the plane and if you've got luggage, you're going to, even if you run to get off the plane, your luggage isn't even going to be there when you get there, and you're going to stand around anyway. So please, let's just have a little patience. There's nothing wrong when the plane lands and it gets to the gate and they turn off the seatbelt sign. There's nothing wrong with standing up and grabbing your overhead bin and stretching your legs and all that stuff. I get that. But please don't grab your stuff and then just try to run up to the front of the plane so you can, you know, be the first person off the plane. It's obnoxious behavior on these airlines, and I'm glad for Volaris Airlines. And again, I hope that other airlines take note of this. You know, unfortunately, have to put a little kindness in the world where people lack it. So anyway, bravo to Volaris Airlines. Comment below, let us know what you think about that idea, if it's a great idea or what some of your experiences have been. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed these airline stories today, and make sure that you give us a like and a subscribe and hit that notification bell. If we can help you book that dream vacation, make sure you give us a call, 877-697-4470, or you can book right online at www.mr-traveler.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, guys, that life's short. Have fun. Go out there and see the world. Bye, everybody.